friends, welcome back to Angie's Corner. Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Please go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and please make sure you share with all your friends and family so we can veganize the whole world. So today's recipe, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to make abenkwan from scratch, the vegan way, guys. So abenkwan is a Ghanaian soup. It's very delicious. It's protein, nutrient, and oil dense. It's very healthy. However, you have to be careful because it has a lot of oil. But it is one of my favorite. I love this soup so much. But before we get started, please pause this video, write down all the ingredients so that you can achieve the exact same results as I did. Don't miss anything, guys. After trying this, please come back and let me know your thoughts on this. Thank you. So next, we're gonna wash your ingredients really well, especially with the mushroom. You wanna make sure that it's thoroughly cleaned. And then you're gonna bring it to a boil with half a cup of water, a pinch of salt, and medium chopped onion. You can use any mushroom of your choice. I'm using the black fungus and a shiitake mushroom, all dried, because I like the smoky flavor that dried mushroom provides. So at this point, we have our mushroom cooking for about 10 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and add our palm fruit, aka abe, into the mixture. You can just directly scoop it out of the container and put it into your pot. You can use a teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever knife to get it out. This one was a little tougher to get out, so you can see me struggling there. But the previous ones I've used weren't as thick, but this is pretty thick. This is the Neat brand. There's so many brands out there, but use whichever one that you're comfortable with or that you prefer. I use the Neat one because it was the only one that I have on hand. It's not that I'm promoting any one over the other, so please feel free to use whichever one that you prefer. So once you scoop everything into your pot, make sure that you mix it around, stir it around until you break apart all the lumps. Like I said, this one was thicker and kind of drier, so it made for a few lumps. So I had to make sure that I broke it apart before adding water, because you don't want the lumps to stay in your soup and have some parts of your soup uncooked. So here I'm adding 3 to 4 cups of water into the mixture, and again stirring around, making sure that I don't have that best stuck to one side of the pan or anything. Guys, you can go ahead and smell too if you feel like it. I decided to give it a quick smell because, like I said, it's my first time using this brand, so I had to make sure that it smelled okay before moving forward. So here I decided that I needed a few more scoops, because if you looked, I really didn't use that much to begin with, so I added the remaining half a can to the mixture, mixed it around, and then moved on from there. So you, at this point, you can add more water if you feel like your mixture is on the thicker side, because after you cook this for a while, it's gonna thicken up. So add as much water as you need. Here I'm adding the vegetables to the mix, the 2 tomatoes, and here I'm adding 2 medium onions. Now I'm gonna add the 2 guinean eggplants. Guys, this was specially delivered to me. I am not sure where you can get this from, but you can use the regular purple eggplant. Just cut it in half and use half of it if you prefer. Here I'm adding my pepper. I added 3 dried pepper and 1 fresh one. Guys, it wasn't hot. The soup wasn't spicy, so don't be scared. The dried pepper wasn't spicy at all. I think it's just for the flavor. So here I'm adding more water to the mixture. Like I said, guys, you want to make sure that your mixture is on the thinner consistency before you go ahead and cook it for 30 minutes. So make sure that you're not starting off with a thicker consistency. You can smell it if you want, but you don't have to. I don't know why I keep smelling it. Yeah, so at this point you can go ahead and cover it, but I decided to give you guys a closer look into how it looks like before it is cooked down. So here it's nice and red. You can see all the vegetables floated to the top as it should be. Now we'll cover it and cook it for 20 to 30 minutes. Yay! So it's been over 20 minutes since we covered up and decided to boil everything. So now, as you can see, all our vegetables looks thoroughly cooked. So we're just gonna go ahead and transfer them into our blender and give it a quick blend. As you can see, I'm just getting everything out: tomatoes, eggplants, the onion and the pepper. Like I said, guys, I ended up blending the one fresh pepper and about 2 dried ones, and my soup came out not spicy at all. It was about like medium. It wasn't spicy. I had my little niece try it and she loved it. So yeah, I trust her. So we're just gonna go ahead and pop it on our blender and give it a quick blend, and then move on from there. So here everything is very well blended. We're just gonna pour everything back into our mixture. As you can see, our initial mixture reduced significantly to about half the amount that we started with. So it's a good idea to go ahead and add a few cups of water. I think for this one I added about 3 to 4 cups of water. And again, go ahead and mix it around. Make sure that you get the bottom, because sometimes the mushrooms tend to stick to the bottom. So give it a really good stir. As you can see, it's already looking like a abenkwan. So now we've had our soup cooking for an extra 10 minutes. And look, guys, it is ready. You see all that oil accumulated. We're gonna go ahead and just remove all that oil slowly. You know, after making abenkwan, you end up with your own special palm nut oil, which we call the engo. This is really good for making either stews, or if you're Nigerian, you can also use this to make other soups as well. So here it takes special skills, guys. It's not easy to just extract the oil without getting some of the yummy soup with it, but be patient. Just go in slowly and just push your ladle a little beneath the surface to extract all the oil. So I do this for about, I don't know, 1 to 2 minutes. I don't really have that much oil since I didn't use the entire can of abe, so bear with me here. As you can see, it looks like my video is out of focus a little bit, but then there we go, we come back in focus. So yeah, so try to take as much oil as you can. You can keep this for yourself, or if you want all that oil in there, which I do not recommend, guys, I do not recommend consuming all this oil at once. You can leave it in there if you want, but take your time and slowly extract all the oil from your soup and save that for future use. So after you've diligently removed all the oil, or close to all the oil as you can, go ahead and just stir it up a little bit, just for your own, I don't know, satisfaction, because I just felt like I just wanted to see everything in there. Look how good the mushrooms have cooked. Let the aroma just filled my entire kitchen. It smells so good, guys. I don't think I got a shot of it, but I went ahead and put the dawa dawa and the Maggi in there, so it smells really good. So here I have some fried tofu that I fried earlier on. If you paid attention to the background, you could have seen it in some previous shots. So I fried this. You can check out how to fry tofu on my channel. I have a whole video dedicated to that. But for this one, I decided to make a chunkier version of what I did before. So I added that, and here I also have some vegan chicken options. This is a particularly Gardein brand. I really like this chicken strips. So I decided to add that. Usually when I make my soup, I just go with the dried mushrooms, but I had some visitors coming over and I wanted to surprise them. So I was like, hey, let's just go all out. So I decided to add these fried tofu and the vegan chicken strips as well. So just mix everything in, and at this point your soup is pretty much done. I just turned the heat all the way low, low to like simmer, and just let the vegan meat and the tofu just absorb some of the soup. So I think I let that sit on the fire for about 5 minutes, not too long. And then yeah, and I also realized that it was a little thicker, so I believe I added a little bit of water as well in order to thin it up a little bit. There we go. So here I'm adding about a cup of water because like I said, you don't want it too thick. I know some people prefer thicker consistency. If that's you, then yes, you can definitely leave it as is, but I like it a little thinner, so I went ahead and added a cup of water to the mixture. And again, you want to stir it, move things around, make sure that the tofu is totally absorbed in the water, in the soup, as well as the mushrooms, so they can get their flavor from that, because tofu doesn't have a flavor on its own. It takes it from its environment. So yeah, you can also go ahead and taste it, make sure that it's tasting good. At this point, it should be tasting very delicious. Guys, I could not wait to eat this food. It tastes so good. So yeah, go ahead and stir. And yeah, cover it, let it simmer for about 5 minutes while you get your fufu ready. I don't think I'm gonna add the fufu recipe to this. I think I'm gonna make a new video for the fufu. You can watch it later on and add your fufu, and then yeah, go ahead and kill it because it tastes so good. So here is a shot, close-up shot of how it looks like at this point. I really wish you guys can smell it. It smells so great. So cover and let it simmer for 5 minutes. Yay! Finally, the soup is all done, guys. It was all worth it. I'm glad you stayed till the very end. Look at this food. It is all worth every second. Thank you so much. See you later.